Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Palm Tree Life. We are probably in our last episode here of the Beginner's Guide with Ghana. I love Ghana because you can cover so much ground so quickly. You can do so many things within one lifetime. It's a place that has a lot of action and you can move pretty quickly. And so I really enjoy playing Ghana, which obviously we turned into Mali. I hope that you've had a lot of fun watching it, playing it, and I hope you see the amount of action you can have in a place like West Africa. But we want to get into adopting feudal ways and feudal government. And so, one thing I want to remind you is you have to be on absolute tribal authority to accomplish this. Okay. Now I will show you in our innovations. We're 21 months away from being able to have a chance to go to early medieval. Okay, we're not quite there yet, but we did get the decision adopt feudal ways. So in here, adopt feudal ways. So it changes our government to feudal. All of our tribal holdings in the realm will become castle holdings. So what that's talking about, just to be very obvious, right here, we have tribal holdings, okay? They're not going to be tribal anymore. They're going to become castles. So you can kind of see a little bit right here. You can see how it's a tribal holding. It has a wall and things, but it's going to turn into a castle when we adopt feudalism. All right, I want us to be aware of that, and it'll switch from tribal hold here, and it'll say castle, and it'll be a number there. I think it'll be 1. It might be random actually on what it ends up giving you since we have built it up. We'll see. And then my tribal vassals will change to feudalism. And so here, your vassals, where it says tribal, so there's 19 tribal vassals, they're going to change to feudal. And so you're going to have to see how there will be feudal contracts. The other thing that changes is right now, because you're a tribal, you get a higher percentage of levies. Does it say it up here? Nope. But as a tribal lord, you get a higher percentage of their levies. So this is going to go down. Okay, so the contribution right here, see how it's 30% because of my level of fame as a tribal ruler. He has to give 30% levies because of that. When we switch to feudalism, this is going to go down to like 15%. It's going to go down significantly. So you just got to factor that in. So right now my total could be 11,850 and my total levies can be like 10,700. It's probably going to be more like this 5,000 to 6,000 number. So if you're planning some big invasion, some big war, you may want to wait to move to feudalism. Even though you can do it, you may want to wait until you can actually have the levies and have the military you need, accomplish whatever that war is that you're trying to do, and then switch to feudalism. Or if you know, okay, I'm not really trying to attack anything, I may have to defend, I may have to defend this, I may have to defend against another one of my vassals trying to claim my throne against me. So I may have to defend, but I don't have to attack, so maybe this is the time to do it. You have the law absolute tribal authority. We do. When we switch to feudalism, we're going to go back to 1. Okay, our feudalism authority is going to be at 1. All right, and we'll be looking to go to 2. Within feudalism, the sooner you can get to 2, the better, because that's where you can revoke titles and things like that. You have a little bit more control over your vassals within that. Biddyism is an organized faith. We've done that. Your level of fame is distinguished. We are distinguished. The development level in the chiefdom of Nyani is greater or equal to 10. So that's your capital. So your capital has to be over 10. Our capital is currently 14. Okay. And the original place we were at is 11. So we actually passed up our original capital. And then has 70% of all military and civic tribal era innovations. So that would be in here. We have 70% of them. So we have 8 here, 9. Wait, civic and military. So that one doesn't count. 8. We have 9 out of 14, so we're over 70%. And we almost have 10, so we're very close. One thing, and then it's going to cost us 200 prestige, which we easily have. When you do this, before you push that button to do it, you have to remember these buildings are not going to stay because these are tribal buildings. What they have done as they've upgraded the game, as they've, just made corrections and necessary corrections, this will stay the same. Our gold mining settlement is fine. It's not going to switch. That building is there no matter what type of government you are. It's a special building. We will be able to get to our duchy buildings, which is just you can build extra buildings that help your entire duchy and then your entire kingdom if you own the duchy capital. And then these buildings, they upgrade them to something else that is a feudal building. You could have several of the same thing. It just it's kind of random, and so you may want to keep it, you may want to switch it. It just depends. We'll look at that when we get to the other side of advancing to feudalism. So hopefully that's a rough overview of the things that are going to switch up here when you go to adopting feudalism. I will show you in government. So you can see we do have one feudal dude right here. That's interesting. We have one feudal guy sitting in there. But everybody else is tribal, okay? Like you can see, heavily tribal. We're going to switch to feudalism, and you're going to watch how all of this starts switching to feudalism because we've advanced there. So we'll come back after that as I hit this button. Alright, so changes your government to feudal. All tribal holding in the realms become castle holdings, and my tribal vassals will change to feudalism. So, let's see if it happened. There you go. So all of Mali. That one hasn't switched because we didn't actually have that title, but every title that we had switched to feudal. Now, if I were to take this, okay, if a Matlis became mine, I would have to convert it to feudalism, and it would cost me 500 gold to do that. So you just need to remember, like, if you're going to come down here and take these and these other areas, that's fine, but then you've got to convert them. Or you can just give them away to vassals and let them worry about it, and they'll have to eventually switch them to feudal. But that's up to you. You just have to make your decision on how you do that. Now, let's look at, okay, you can see right here, we got more holdings. So this is a temple holding, so you can see can right here. Our tribal holding switched to castle, and it went to 1. So it's not a tribal 2 anymore, it's a tribal 1. They gave us a building for each one. Okay, so these are the different feudal buildings. You can switch it, okay, if you want to replace the building and you don't like which one it is. What I tend to do, I'll go hillside fields because it's 0.3. These are 0.2. I love wooden barracks because as you build up wooden barracks, it gives you different toughness over time. And if you switch it, I mean, the hunting grounds, we do have a lot of cavalry, so hunting grounds might be worth it. I don't know. You got the small hill fort, so it just makes your defense better. And then you've got the military camps, which over time just helps your levies, helps your levy reinforcement, makes your units tougher. So those are pretty good ones. Let's look at one here in Niani. So because they're in a, and if you're in different, what is this called? Like terrain types. There we go. If you're in different terrain types, it gives you different things. So we can see here, Can is in the hills, so they gave us buildings that were more on hills. Niani's on the floodplains, and so there's more. So here's, if we're going to construct a duchy building, you can see there's all kinds, and these are special specifically to duchies, these buildings. That's why it's critical to have, I mean, if you can have up to 2 without penalty, and it's good to have 2 because it gives you more. Then you've got regimental grounds. Those are good. Farm and fields. I might actually switch this. Camel breeders. So the camel breeders gives you knights, extra knights. That's huge. The orchards gives you a lot more taxes. That's a big deal. The regimental buildings help you with army gold maintenance, men at arms, levy size, those types of things. I'm going to switch this mud brick tower. It's good for defense, like it's not bad, but I would rather have the gold, because gold, or even military camps, all right, because it helps my military fight. But the gold, remember, gold lets you do everything. Gold lets you buy mercenaries. Gold lets you pay more men at arms. Gold lets you pay off people to like you. Gold does everything, and so I'd rather just have more gold than that defense. Like, that defense really doesn't, even at its best level, it helps me a little bit, but I should be big enough that shouldn't matter. So I'm going to switch this one, and I'm going to construct crop fields. Now notice, in tribal, when you're purchasing buildings, you're paying a little bit of money and a lot of prestige. In feudal, you're only paying money. So once again, money is just, it's very important. All right. But look at this. So you've got, we've got a city. So your cities can become much more powerful. And you can build buildings in your city. Cities will have republic vassals. Okay, so if you see this, vassals, I have 6 republic vassals. The republic vassals are mayors of your city. They are vassals. They do count, so like I can put them on my council. Like, this guy's really good at intrigue. I can put him on my council, and I should be able to. All right, I can't go up here. If I did limited crown authority, I could actually revoke his title, and that's one of the great things about mayors is you can revoke their title and replace them. So like, if you have somebody you really want to get, you want them to be your vassal because they're really good at prowess and you need another champion or another knight, or you really need a good counselor, you can get rid of mayors and it won't cost you anything because it doesn't give you a penalty for revoking titles from them, and they don't really have an army, and so you can just quickly replace them with somebody that gives you the traits that you're looking for to put on your council. So it's up to you if you really need it. What I tend to do when I step into city holdings or temple holdings, when I step into them, I focus on the money, all right, because their levies are not going to give you very much. Like, look at this. So this guy's giving me 8 levies. I don't need 8 levies. I'd rather have like 0.5 gold than 15 levies. Like, who cares about levies? And see, there's the 10% contribution. I told you it was 30% before. Now it's 25%. Okay. Now let's go over the feudal contracts real quick. So when you go into feudal, it gives you a feudal contract right here. You click on it. They should be normal if you just started it. So if you start the game in a feudal era and you pass it off to other future player errors, and you're playing with characters that are your grandson, great grandson, so on and so forth, these could be different. But really, what the feudal contract is just how much feudal taxes are they giving you, and if you have hooks on people, you can make it higher. All right, how many levies are they giving you? You can make it higher. Then there's the special contract. You can look at you can sanction that they're allowed to just declare wars whenever they want, and to make them happier, you can give them guaranteed council rights. So anybody with their title is guaranteed to serve on the council. So if you have a specific kingdom that you always want to keep happy, you can guarantee them council rights, and whoever holds that title always gets a seat on your council over here. Forced partition, so succession rights, you can deal with that. You can do protected for title revocation. So like, You can make somebody happy by going, it doesn't matter if you become a criminal. It doesn't matter if we don't like each other. It doesn't even matter if you try to take my throne. You're protected. I will not take your title, and it'll make them happier. All right. The March contract, the vassal will receive bonuses to their levies and defensive capabilities, but provide 50% less tax than what their feudal taxes obligation. So they give less money, but they'll give more levies. So that's just what that is. Scutage is they will pay 50% more tax, but they won't provide as many levies. Okay, so that's just a special kind of contract. And then this one is the Palatinate or Palat. I'm destroying that, but whatever. That they'll increase their liege's prestige, but provide 20% less taxes and levies. So they're going to provide less taxes and levies, but give you a lot more prestige. So they're basically like your biggest cheerleader, is how you could view that. But you can do all of that if you do modify it. So like if you go to modify it, you will take a penalty. It's an act of tyranny unless you have a hook. All right. And you can get a hook on somebody all the ways that you would get it before. And you can adjust it. I don't adjust a lot of contracts unless they've previously done deals with like previous lieges and they're down in the exempt or low. I try to keep them or get them up to normal. That's what I'm trying to do. As I build buildings in the cities, I think I already told you, I try to focus on lots and lots of money. That's where I want to focus it. As you do build out, you'll see I've got 5 barony slots here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. One of them has a city. One of them has my castle, and it's a castle 4. Okay. And I can elevate that. One of them has my temple holding, and then this one I can construct a new holding. Okay. So as a feudal ruler, I can't hold the city holdings, but I can grant permission for someone else to do it. So what it does is it allows me to put another city out here for 340 gold. Okay. I can't do another castle yet. I could if I had this innovation, I could put another castle out there. All right, but I can build another holding, city, temple, castle. I can build it out here to either, if it's a castle, that's another castle they have to take to conquer this territory. Okay, so it can become important as defense. A city or a temple putting out here can give you a lot more gold. Okay, so it just depends on how you do it. And remember, when we reformed our faith, I made myself the head of the religion, and so I get to hold this temple holding as my own because I'm technically the religious leader of our faith. I can grant that to a low noble, and instead of getting the tax and levies from this, they'll get it and give me a percentage because it's smaller. So it just depends on how many territories you have and if you want to do that. I have enough domain limit right now to do it perfectly and comfortably and not have to worry about it at all. I will show you. So my levies, they did go. Remember that it was just under 11,000, and we're at 7,000 now. So you do lose levies because you lose the percentage that your vassals have to give you. I know that was a lot, and that was an overview, but that is really how you switch from tribal government to feudal government. Set yourself up really well to move forward. The big deal is have a lot of gold here so that when you switch over, you can just start building all the buildings that you need. And now you may not have over 5,000 gold, but you need a significant amount. I would say if you're in the neighborhood of somewhere between 500 and 1,000, depending on where you're at in the world, you're sitting really good to at least start off in feudal well. The other thing, I don't think I said this. Remember, your men-at-arms in tribal cost you prestige. It costs you prestige to buy them. It costs you prestige to raise them. It costs you prestige to have them refill up. All of it was prestige. Now it's all gold, so it costs you money. And right now, my unraised arm is 6.4 for this amount of guys. Okay, so they're not even full. So if I filled that completely, I mean, you're talking it's going to be in the 15 to 20 area just to have them as a stand ready to go army. And the reason you get the benefit of not really feeling that down in Ghana is because of these luscious gold mines that I talked about, how they're just sitting here and it gives so much money. And so it's really easy to switch to feudal. I would recommend, if you wanted to start an early game, to play in Ghana. You're going to get a feel for all the mechanics. You'll make some mistakes. You'll get frustrated. It's okay. Keep going. You will learn a lot about how to keep your vassals happy. You'll learn a lot about how the game mechanics work. You'll learn a lot about how to win battles and set your armies up to be successful. You can do that all in a place like Ghana/Mali because it sets you up for an early win, especially if you use a player character that you create and set yourself up to be successful with how you construct yourself early in that game. Well, I hope this was all beneficial to you. I hope it sets you up for a really fun playthrough in Crusader Kings 3. And I really hope that this has given you a joy and a love for this game that I have. And I hope you play a lot in the future, and I see you around playing online. But I'll talk to you later. This is Palm Tree Life. Have a great time. If you could like or subscribe to help me out, I'd appreciate it. See you later.